friends, it's Story Circle time. Today we have two books. The first one is A Porcupine Named Fluffy by Helen Lester and illustrated by Lynn Munsinger. This is one of my favorite books. When Mr. and Mrs. Porcupine had their first child, they were delighted. Now he needed a name. Should they call him Spike? No, Spike was too common. Should they call him Lance? No, Lance sounded too fierce. Should they call him Needle Rooser? No, Needle Rooser was too long. Prickles? Pokey? Quillian? Then together they had an idea. Let's call him Fluffy. It's such a pretty name. Fluffy. But soon there came a time when Fluffy began to doubt that he was Fluffy. He first became suspicious when he backed into a door and stuck fast. That was not a Fluffy thing to do. He was even more convinced when he accidentally slept on his back and poked holes in the mattress. A very unfluffy thing to do. When he tried to carry an umbrella, he knew the truth without a doubt. Fluffy definitely wasn't. So he decided to become fluffier.
Clouds are fluffy, he thought. I'll be a cloud.
But he couldn't stay up.
I know, pillows are fluffy, he said. I'll be a pillow.
But when his mother sat on him, she was not pleased. He tried soaking in a bubble bath for 45 minutes, but he did not become fluffy. He became soggy. He tried whipped cream. He put a little on each quill. It was not easy, and it took more than half a day. But this did not make Fluffy fluffy.
They should have named me Gooey,
he sighed. He ate a lot of fluffy marshmallows. He rolled in shaving cream and feathers. He even tried to become a bunny. But the truth remained, Fluffy wasn't. Oh, poor Fluffy. One afternoon, Fluffy set out for a walk, trying to think of ways to become fluffy. Before long, he met a very large rhinoceros. "Grrr," said the rhinoceros. "I'm going to give you a rough time." Fluffy didn't know what a rough time was, but he didn't like the sound of it at all. "What is your name, small prickly thing?" asked the rhinoceros unkindly.
Fluffy,
said Fluffy. The rhinoceros smiled. He giggled, and then he laughed out loud. He rolled on the ground, he jiggled and slapped his knees, he roared with laughter. "A porcupine named Fluffy," howled the rhinoceros. Fluffy was embarrassed, but he tried to be polite.
"And what is your name?"
he inquired. I can't say it," giggled the rhinoceros. "Hubert?" suggested Fluffy. "Oh, help, I just can't say it. I'm laughing so hard," said the rhinoceros.
"Harold? Or maybe Herman?"
asked Fluffy.
"No,"
gasped the rhinoceros. "It's Hippo." Hippo. A rhinoceros named Hippo. Fluffy smiled. He giggled. Then he laughed out loud. Ha 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 ha! He jiggled and slapped his knees. He howled with laughter. A rhinoceros named Hippo! Fluffy cried. A porcupine named Fluffy, a rhinoceros named Hippo. It was almost more than they could bear. Hippo and Fluffy rolled on the ground, giggling and laughing until tears came to their eyes. At last they lay exhausted on the ground. From that time on, they were the best of friends. And Fluffy didn't mind being Fluffy anymore, even though he wasn't. The end. That's a fun book. All right, our next book, a lot of my friends really like this book. It's called Goodnight, Goodnight, Construction Site. And it's by Sherry Dusky Rinker and Tom Lichtenheld. Those are some good names. There we go. Down in the big construction site, the tough trucks work with all their might to build a building, make a road, to get the job done, load by load. The sun has set, the work is done. It is time for trucks to end their fun. So one by one, they'll go to bed, to yawn and rest their sleepy heads. Then wake up to another day of rough and tough construction play. That's a beautiful sunset. Wow. Working hard to help his team, crane truck raises one last beam. Reaching, stretching, lifting high, he swings the beam into the sky. He'll set it down right on its mark. Then off to bed. It's almost dark. He slowly folds his boom back in, and then with one last sleepy grin, he tucks himself in nice and tight, and then cuddles up and says goodnight. Good night, crane truck, good night. Spinning, churning all day long, cement mixer sings his whirly song. Now, he's weary and so dizzy from the fun that keeps him busy. With one last spin, he pours the load. He's ready now to leave the road. He takes a bath, gets shiny bright, pulls up his chute, and turns off the light. He cuts his engine, slows his drum, and dreams sweet dreams of twirly fun. Shh. Good night, cement mixer. Good night. Dump truck loves to work and haul. He carries loads both big and small. He moves the dirt from place to place, then dumps it with a happy face. One final load spills on the heap. Crunch! Now dump truck's tired and wants to sleep. He lowers his bed, locks his gate, rests his wheels. It's getting late. He dims his lights, then shuts his doors, and soon his engine slows to snores. Good night, dump truck. Good night. Pushing with his mighty blade, bulldozer works to smooth the grade. He clears the way to level ground and fills the air with thunderous sound. Rawr! No one's as tough and strong as he, but now he is sleepy as can be. He puffs some smoke out of his stack, turns off his engine, and stops his track. curls into his soft dirt bed, and dreams of busy days ahead. Shh. Good night, bulldozer. Good night. Scooping gravel, dirt, and sand, excavator shapes the land. He digs and lifts throughout the day. Rawr! But now it's time to end his play. A few more holes to dig, and soon he'll roll to bed beneath the moon. He twirls upon his bumpy track, pulls up his boom, and stretches his back. He sets his scoop down on the ground and snuggles up without a sound. Shh. Good night, excavator. Good night. These big trucks, so tough and loud. They work so hard, so rough and proud. Tomorrow is another day, another chance to work and play. Turn off your engines, stop your tracks. Relax your wheels, your stacks and backs. No more huffing and puffing, team. It's time to rest your heads and dream. Construction site, all tucked in tight. The day is done. Turn off the light. Great work today. Now, shh. Good night. The end. Okay, my friends, I hope you're having a wonderful day. I'll see you later. Bye.